Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into DoubleACS. Maybe you're watching on your TV or on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever you're watching from. We just hope you're staying home, staying safe, staying healthy, and we're really glad you're here with us tonight. This is Improv Your Life. It is, I believe, the first time we're doing this. It's a completely new show that we're going to do. I'm your host, Ayla. Hi. And you're going to see a lot of fun things tonight. We've brought together a group of New England comedians who have one goal, and that is to entertain you. So hopefully you are looking for a laugh, because if so, you came to the right place. For those of you who don't know, improv is a style of comedy where the performers just kind of fly by the seat of their pants. So we might come in with a rough concept or idea, but there are no real scripts, no rehearsals, just good, fun, funny fun. So we're really excited to be here. And I think without any further ado, we should bring on our first guest, who is a world-renowned scientist and doctor, Dr. Matonoic. Am I pronouncing that right?
It's yes, that's it.
Okay.
Too late. It's too late for that.
Oh,
I'm sorry. That was my partner.
cool.
Bridie, she was unable to do this comedy routines for you all, so she's I subbed in.
Great.
And I have some breaking news. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Matonoic. I have a PhD. I don't know who typed that in there. PhD of forensic paleontology and animal behavior. I'm also an animal psychic at NAP. I teach at NAP University. You know, I'm sorry. Could we get the house lights up? We're just gonna get the house lights up. Actually, can we bring the house lights back down? Thank you. Okay. And can you turn down that speaker in there? Thank you. So, let me introduce you. This is professor of physics at Knapp University. All right, go ahead. So what we have here is I'm going to bring up my slideshow presentation. If we're ready with that, with the tech, bring that up. And we have some breaking news. Proof positive. Dinosaurs look nothing like we once believed, right? What is phallibism? What does dinosaur mean? Oops, if we could just go back there. That human beings can be mistaken in anything they can think or do is a proposition known as phallibism. Stated abstractly like that, it is seldom contradicted. Yet few people have ever seriously believed either. That our senses often fail us is a truism, and our self-critical culture has long ago made us familiar with the fact that we can make mistakes of reasoning too. Among my research, we have now come to the conclusion that the dinosaurs that we once believed to look a certain way, a certain archetype, look nothing like that. Next slide, please. Oh, that's me. Tyrannosaurus. Notice the hair. Notice, if I can get my mouse here, half up, half down ponytail. This is what they looked like. A little closer view here. This is just the tip of the iceberg of what we can do. I mean, the imaging here is far superior than what we've seen. I would be sitting down for the rest of this presentation. Brontosaurus. You see Brontosaurus here. Again, we zoom in. The hair. Like nothing I've ever seen before. We were wrong, but it's not too late to make it right. Carnotaurus sasatri. Oh, my tech guy wasn't in, a little cut off there, but we can see if we zoom in the pony, another half up, half down. Genus. blonde. Pterodactylus, in all their majestic glory. All the way up, they fly all the way up and they come down. Get their eggs, pick up a fish from the ocean. Can you imagine it? Them diving in and whipping their hair. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, that's not in there, supposed to be in there. Tracks. There she is. Still, the arms are the same. The arms are the same. Limited functionality there, but power. I'm also, as I said, an animal psychic, and I have done other research to conclude that in these moments when we rendered these depictions, I was also sensing what it was they were feeling as they were frozen in time, immortal, in the tar pits. So in this moment, just before the blasts began, she here was thinking, you can see the arms inverted, stay in the moment. Stay in the moment. Oh, I like that feature. Get the next slide. Here, this species was known to say, or as they were, being frozen in time, immortal, as I stated, dumber is all get out. I'm just picking that up. And I have a method. I have a methodology that, is been proven many times. There's a patent if you're interested. If you have any investors, my proprietary method, there is a patent. I'm willing to give a 40% equity for 500,000. I'm sorry. You have my contact information. And here, this dinosaur was thinking loyalty. That's it. 100% emoji. Very good. On here, the every woman. Fallibism, correctly understood, implies the possibility, not the impossibility of knowledge, right? Because the very concept of error, if taken seriously, implies that truth exists and can be found. The inherent limitation of human reason, that it can never find solutions for ideas does not constitute any sort of limit on the creation of objective knowledge, nor therefore on progress. The absence of foundation, whether infallible or probable, is no less to anyone except tyrants and charlatans. Because what the rest of us want from ideas is their content, not their provenance. If your disease has been cured by medical science, and you become aware that science never proves anything but only disproves theories, and then only tentatively, you do not respond, oh dear, I'll just have to die then. Right? And as I said, I was also animal psychic, and these are just other things I found recently. This here is a photo of me. This is when everything changed for me. I was leaving Gabrielle's house. We had dinner, and we made the fun glasses there, and I had my Valentine's Day card, and she took a photo of me. And in the background, as you can see, there was something there that we didn't realize. And this is my source. This was the day. I also just go around, and I people can hire me to speak to their animals. This was a horse I met in the jungle and among the ferns. And it told me that it was going to leave and eat a pizza by itself, by myself. This seal here was floating over in Alaska. a homesteader had sort of made it his pet. He would feed it. He would take care of it because he noticed that it was sort of shirked by the other seals, and and you could see the tears in his eyes here, and the body. And he said he has organizational issues. This was a mother tiger and her cub, and she's again in the jungle. And she looked at me and she stared at me right in my eyes, and she said, I don't know if she was projecting what she had wanted, but she said, go back to school, travel, do anything. And this was a bird I met in the dark, and it said, I stopped using sulfate-free, I think, shampoos and conditioners, and they also have organizational issues. Well, that's all the time I have. That's all I've prepared. So if you have any questions or...
Oh, I'm wondering, do you do house calls?
Of course. With the pandemic, it is a little difficult. I can do virtual house calls. And if you just take here. If you just take your animal and imagine this is an animal, not just on a cup, but and you can put the eyes. Don't let them wear sunglasses because the eyes are the window to the soul.
Oh, okay.
Put them right up to the cameras, just like that, and just let me sit with them for a little while. Wow. And frame a question and ask the dog in your own way. Whether you do it with food or where he's positioned or she or they in the house. And then I could do house calls that way. If it is of utmost importance, no, I'm not leaving.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't leave.
I wish I could.
It's amazing that you can do that over such great distance with just a camera. You're very powerful.
Have you ever seen Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Well, 11. She also has the gift of sight.
Oh, so you have the same powers as 11?
Yes, I do.
You sound so happy about it.
I don't like to talk about it. It's very emotional because when I saw the show,
yeah,
that was me. That was my story.
Right.
And if I just had a little bit more time, if I wasn't pulled in so many directions with the animals and the dinosaur hairs, maybe somebody would have asked me about my story and it would have been a show.
And you know what? Maybe there still will be.
The story's already been told.
Well, I'm so sorry for your loss. I'm going to let you sit alone with your feelings. But thank you so much for being with us on the show today, Dr. Matonoic. Matonoic.
Yes.
Great. Perfect. You've been a real joy. And goodbye, doctor. Wow. I don't know about you guys, but my life has changed forever. I didn't know that somebody could get in touch with my cats in a deeper way than I could. And I think I'm probably going to call her once the show is over and have her speak to them because I want to know what's going on in there. All right. Well, I don't know how we're going to follow that. So many historical truths unearthed in one segment, but I think our next performer is up to the task. Her name is Teichman, and she is a local comedian. I'm very excited she's here. Hi, Kate.
Hello.
Yay.
Yay. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for being here.
I'm so excited. With the theme of the night, I'm going to do some improv for folks. And what I need from you guys to get started is a suggestion of an insect or a bug. If you could put that in the live comments, I would like to do like a little confessions or, my time in front of the camera as that insect. So go ahead and comment whatever bug or insect you would like me to do. And I will hopefully be able to see that. I'm just waiting. Just talk to me about bugs. Just give me a bug name. Caterpillar, Tina. Thank you. All right, you guys, I'm going to take caterpillar because that was the first one I saw. But I do see that Sarah said praying mantis and Shane said spider, which are also really exciting to me. So we'll see. All right. All right, caterpillar. Hi, you guys. I'm Kathy. I'm a caterpillar. And my life is so wild. I've been like, there's a book about caterpillars, and although they don't say that it's me, I like to think that it was me. So if you talk to anybody about that book, or you read it, you can think of me, because that's what I want you to do. And I hope that I'm your only caterpillar friend, but if you have other caterpillar friends, that's awesome too. If you know a caterpillar that's named Ed, he was rude to me once, and I don't like him. So because I met him, it was like a morning time, and I met him on a leaf, and I was like, "Hi, I'm Kathy. I'm a caterpillar, and how are you doing?" And he didn't answer. And at first I was like, "Oh, maybe he's hard of hearing." And so I was like, "Hi, I'm Kathy. How are you doing?" And then he gave me, he like made a gesture at me that was in what is considered rude in caterpillar life. He just like put up all his legs and he was like, and I was like, that is so rude. So if you meet Ed, don't be nice to him, which I know feels super rude. Like, that's not nice. And usually I'm a pretty nice person. My mom said I am. And I have 6 sisters. Everyone asked me, are you ever going to have a brother? And I was like, I don't know. Maybe not. And am I sad about that? A little bit. Do you guys have brothers? I hear they're fun. But my sisters are great. We do a lot of things together. We eat breakfast and then also lunch and dinner together. One time I was missing at dinner time and everyone was like, "Where is Kathy?" And my mom was really bad and worried about me because usually caterpillars show up on time for dinner. The thing was I just had taken a caterpillar nap and I was just cozy and I forgot. So I slept through dinner. And then when I came home, I had forgotten my sweatshirt because sometimes caterpillars wear sweatshirts. And she was like, "I just got you that sweatshirt." My mom was like, "I just got you that sweatshirt." And I was like, "I think I know where it is, but I also don't have it with me right now for dinner. And I'm starving. So can I just eat dinner, please?" Do you guys have moms? It's horrible. They're always concerned about you and if you have your clothes that they got you. And I never found that sweatshirt. It was just gone. And I never found it again. And I miss it because it was purple. And I wouldn't say that my favorite color is purple. My favorite color is green, which is obvious for a caterpillar. But also some caterpillars have other favorite colors. So don't just call me normal. But I do miss it because it was a pretty shade of purple. Some people call it periwinkle, which I love that word. I love it. And so anyway, I never got it back. But also my sisters are great. We tell each other everything. like if we go on any adventures, and also if we have any crushes on people, other caterpillars. One time I had a crush on a squirrel. It lasted for 2 hours. And this squirrel, I think it might have been hurt because it stayed in the same bush for a long time, for 2 hours. And I was like talking to it the whole time, and I was trying to tell it jokes. But caterpillar life is, it's small. And I like to think of it as living life at the pace of a turtle, who is, I think, slower than a caterpillar, if you ask me. Because one time I was on the back of a turtle and I was like crawling all over it and it hardly moved. But anyway, that squirrel left. So it's good news, you guys, because squirrels, it wasn't hurt, is basically the good move. But I don't think it had any feelings for me. I honestly don't think it could hear me. Squirrels are very fast and their ears are very small. I could fit in a squirrel's ear though, if I wanted. But I would never do that because I can't even imagine how many dinners I would be late to if I rode on a squirrel. I might never find my way home and my mom would call Caterpillar 911, which in caterpillar world is actually 6 2 2 2 2. It's a lot of twos because 2 is often a caterpillar's favorite number. You would think it would be a higher number based on how many legs we have, but we extended the amount of twos. So you get it like that. So anyway, I do love my sisters and I just, I love being a caterpillar. Some people ask me, do you wish that you were a butterfly? And I say yes, because they can fly and they're really beautiful. And even though my mom and dad said I was really beautiful, I'm not sure if that's true outside of the caterpillar world. But does it matter? Because I only follow the Caterpillar Times news and my social media, although I follow a lot of other insects, only other caterpillars follow me. It's my sisters. They are super boring, but so am I, so it works out for us. If you have any questions for me, I'm willing to answer them about caterpillar life. So if you have a dying question that you've wondered about caterpillars, you can ask me right now, because right now is in between lunchtime and dinner time. Because if I go too much longer, I'll miss dinner time. So I'm going to look at the comments and see if you guys ask me any questions. Is your mom a butterfly? Yes, she is. And she's the most beautiful mom ever. I would never tell her that to her face. Just kidding. I tell her every night. I'm like, you so beautiful. Don't fly away. Any other questions I will answer? No. Okay, then I better go because my mom, I already said, is going to be waiting for me. So
I have some questions for you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi. So I noticed you're a talking caterpillar, and I was wondering if you can speak to humans or if this is like some kind of like special circumstance.
No, all caterpillars can speak to humans, yes. So
Mhm.
it's just if we're in the mood or have the opportunity, because we're usually so down low
Yeah.
that you can't hear us. So one time I was screaming really loud at someone because they had on these like great gym shoes.
Sure.
They were pink and purple. And again, not my favorite color. My favorite color is green. Like you're sitting on a green couch and I like it. But if you had me over, I might eat it.
Oh, I see. So that's probably why humans and caterpillars don't interact so much.
Right.
Right.
It's hard. It's a hard cross species. There might be a lot of love there, but there might be a lot of accidents too.
Yeah.
And we would hate for you guys to hate us because most people like us from your species.
I mean, you are very cute and small.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay. Well, does anyone else have any questions for our caterpillar? This is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I know
You have to go to dinner, so ask now or forever hold your peace and mouth shut.
Well, I guess they're going to pass on it. I guess in the future, if you want to talk to a caterpillar, you need to find an animal psychic.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's just going to be that.
That's going to be that. Thank you, Ayla.
Thank you, Kate. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having a great time chuckling to myself alone here in my house, which I hope you are doing too. Feel free to comment and interact with these performers. We see your comments when they're coming in. So if you do have a burning question like, was her mom a butterfly? It turns out yes, but we never would have known that if it wasn't for a brave commenter. So feel free to interact with us. We're here, we're live, we're ready to talk. So I guess we'll bring on our third and unfortunately final guest. I know you're all having a blast and wishing this would last for hours and hours. But we do just have one more guest for you. I'm very excited to bring him on. He's well known in the comedy world of New England. His name is Jargs Barfman. Hello, Jargs.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Good evening. Thank you for having me on this program. Very happy to be here.
We're very happy you're here.
I was going to read some selected works tonight from my book,
What an honor.
An Incomplete Jargs Barfman Compendium.
Great.
But let me ask... Oh, well, no, that's fine. Good evening. I am acclaimed author, writer, speaker, philosopher, activist, crossing guard, volunteer gas station attendant, and a mom, Jargs Barfman. I am a noted author in the writing world. You've never heard of me. It's because you haven't gone deep enough into that world. I'd like to start my reading tonight with a story called Neil. Neil is a big man, but not too big. He can fit in a normal bed and wears mostly normal-sized clothes and doesn't need any sort of oversized washcloth when he bathes. He's just bigger than most people, and really, that's got to be a good thing. Sure, most people gawk at him because his forehead sticks out farther than anyone's ever seen, and he's got the biggest chin in at least the tri-state area. It is like Leno-sized. But no one ever says, hey, that guy's too big or anything like that. Anyway, he died. This next story is called Pudding Hat, his pudding hat, based on a little bit of personal experience. His pudding hat. Take a picture, the man said. It'll last longer. So I did. I took a picture. I thought there was a man. He'd been sitting on a bench eating something out of a top hat. I thought it was pudding, but I couldn't be sure. At home, I printed the picture and tacked it to my corkboard above my desk. For years, people would visit me, look at the picture, and ask, is that man eating pudding out of a top hat? I'd say, I think so. My one friend thought it was yogurt, but I felt very strongly about it being pudding, and now we're no longer friends. Today, I stand beside the old man's casket with the picture in my shirt pocket. It's a small service and I wasn't invited. A young woman stares at me. She says, "Who is that guy?" "Oh, pardon me," I say. "I was just leaving." On my way out, I hand my photo to a woman veiled in black. "His pudding hat," she says. "He loved his pudding hat." Thank you. And we will take a brief break and to have a word from our sponsors right after this. Hats, jackets, wallets, socks, and shirts. You can get them all at my downtown store, which is called Hats, Jackets, Watches, Wallets, Shirts, and Crystals. We don't have crystals. Don't worry about it, okay? It's just part of the name. We don't have them. We have everything else in the name. I don't want to really get into it, but what I do want to get into is all the fancy sales we're having this weekend. You want designer suits with the finest herringbone wool from Milan? Or how about a nice rugged cowboy hat from deep in the heart of Texas? Or maybe a pair of Argyle socks from New Jersey? All at hats, jackets, wallets, watches, socks, and crystals. Look, sometimes just the thing is named a weird thing, okay? Sometimes that's just, the name doesn't exactly say what is in the store, What do? You go into Starbucks and you say, "Hey, where's my space cash?" No, you don't, because that would be annoying, okay? So stop coming in and asking for crystals, okay? We don't have them. I'm sorry we don't have them. I'm sorry it says that on the outside of the store, but we only have hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, and crystals, okay? You come down this weekend and you can get any 2 hats for the price of 1. And look, I spent a lot of time naming all these hats. I named every individual hat in the store, okay? There's a bowler, which is called the Striking Gentle Person. That's pretty good. It's about bowling and it's gender neutral. There's the Good Cowboy, which is just a regular cowboy hat, but I've imbued it with my good spirit. And there's also the Fun Cowboy, which is just a horse head. It's not a cowboy hat, but you could be the fun cowboy if you wear it. And come on down to hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, and crystals. Look, okay, all right. We were gonna have crystals, okay? We were gonna have them. My brother said, hey, get crystals. People are all into crystals. I mean, me, I don't know anything about crystals, okay? I don't stay on top of the latest trends, okay? I was just a CPA living a nice life with a nice savings. My brother talked me into opening up a store that had hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, and crystals, okay? So that's what I named it, because I'm not very creative, so I just named what was going to be in the store. Well, 6 months later now, I haven't heard from my brother. Last I heard he was in an experimental prison in Santa Fe because he had stolen all the crystals from a lady at a farmer's market. What do people do with crystals anyway? What do they do with them? I'll tell you what, okay? My aunt Judith, she does Reiki healing, okay? I went to her because I can't afford traditional healthcare. I went to her. She hovered her hands over my bodies, put a crystal on my neck, and $600 later, I still have gout, okay? Please come on down to hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, and crystals this weekend. I'm so close to making rent. If you buy one jacket, a hat, 2 pairs of socks, and a wallet, I've calculated it. That is enough for me to make rent this month. So please come to hats, jackets, wallets, watches, shirts, socks, and crystals. It's right across the street from bandanas, scarves, shoes, cufflinks, and dream catchers. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for that wonderful message. I hope you do find your way down to that business. It is important in these times to support local businesses. Well, for my last story, I thought I would try something different. You see, I am out of ideas. The quarantine has sucked me dry. So I would like the audience to provide a suggestion of a location in which this story takes place. Does anyone have a suggestion of where such a literary masterwork could take place? It could be a geographical location or a non-geographical location, perhaps. Another suggestion I'm looking for is, what is the final line of this story? Anybody out there listening? Give me... it takes place in an IHOP. Thank you, Kate. And what is the last line of this story? An IHOP in a cave. I will use both, as I am one of today's great voices. An IHOP in a cave. Well, if anybody has got a last line, just put it in the comments while I'm telling this story, and I will make it happen. Okay. Boom goes the dynamite is the last line. Boom goes the dynamite is the last line. Thank you, Steve Ahlquist of uprise.org. Okay. Inside the caved IHOP, a sad man named Gary Wilkins stood behind the counter, sadly flipping flapjacks, wondering if anyone would ever come to his franchise. You see, he had the novel idea of opening an IHOP inside of a cave, thinking it would not only attract humans, but also bears. And who doesn't want to have breakfast with a bear? Well, it turns out that not many people do. In fact, the first couple that came, a lovely husband and wife from Austria visiting on vacation, came to the restaurant and were subsequently mauled right before getting their stuffed pancakes. The wife survived and left a scathing review on Yelp. And that's kept customers away for far too long. But Gary would not be deterred. He still knew that this concept IHOP restaurant inside of a cave swarmed by bears who could smell the sweet honey and berries would still somehow make it through. Just as he was closing up shop one evening, wiping down the countertops, tossing old flapjacks in the bin, he heard a jingle at the bell of his door. In walked a man like he had never seen. The top half, man. Bottom half, bear. Middle part looked like lizard. Couldn't be sure. Gary didn't want to ask, as he wanted to be sensitive to the potential disorders that this bear man lizard person might have. The bear man lizard sidled up to the counter, looked up at Gary and said, "Y'all still open?" Yes, we are. What could I get you? Y'all got sweet tea? Yes, we do. Coming right up, I'll get you that sweet tea and a menu. Gary dashed behind the counter, fired up the oven and all of the other various machines that are usually inside of an IHOP. He shook hard the whipped cream and poured his customer a sweet tea. Placed it beside him on the counter. "So," Gary said, "that's a lovely accent. Let me guess, you're from the South." "Nope. I'm from Columbus, Ohio." "Go Buckeyes." Gary and the man locked eyes. The man dropped his fork. "Oopsie. I'm a little bit of a klutz," he said. Gary said, No, don't worry about it. Are you ready to order?" "Well," said the bear lizard man, What do you recommend? Well, I, of course, love the stuffed pancakes. Of course, I do still have burgers left over when IHOP briefly became IHOB, the International House of Burgers. No, ew, that's no, I don't want that. No, it was a failed promotion. I really didn't get any more foot traffic. Well, what can you stuff my pancakes in? What can you stuff in my pancakes? You know, if you get my drift, what can you put in there? You put a little strawberries? Oh, yes, absolutely. Maybe a little cherries. Oh, we can do strawberries and cherries. It's a nice combo, yeah. And maybe you can put in blood. I'm sorry, we don't have blood. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was just my inner bear trying to get out. I gotta just kind of stuff it down, stuff it in there, get in there, bear. Get further down. Gary was relieved that the wool wasn't being pulled over his eyes. A bear was just simply trying to get out of this man's body and devour him whole. Gary went back to the kitchen, prepared the stuffed pancakes. And then he saw something sitting there on the counter. Eureka! Imhotep, he said. I found a small vial of blood. It was left there after the investigators had come to clean up the crime scene that the bear had left from the Austrian couple. Gary had asked if he could have a memento from the moment. It was the only news the restaurant had ever gotten, and he wanted to hang something on the wall as a reminder. So one of the detectives tossed him a little bit of blood that was kept in a vial. Gary hung it in his doorframe, much like a mezuzah. Gary surreptitiously poured the blood atop the pancakes and then maple syrup. They brought them out to the bear lizard man. Bon appetit, he said. The bear lizard man dug into the pancakes. Y'all, this is the most amazing pancake I've ever had. Oh my God, what is in it? Gary stopped for a moment. Do you really want to know? He said. I must have this recipe. Well, it's got strawberries and cherries, like you asked, and the blood of an Austrian man. The bear lizard man dropped his fork again. I'm sorry, I'm so clumsy. Was that 3 forks for me? Well, thank you so much. You know, I didn't want to make you too uncomfortable there with the blood thing, and it's really sweet of you that didn't deter you, and you put some in here for me. You know, all my life I've felt pretty much like an outcast. You know, I got 3 body parts to me: bear, person, and a little snake. It was snake, not lizard. And, you know, just to find someone here that's so accepting of me. They locked eyes again. This time, the bond wouldn't be broken. Fireworks shot off in each of their irises. They leaned in and kissed. Gary stepped back and said, "Wow, I saw fireworks. Did you?" Boom goes the dynamite, the bear lizard man said. Thank you. That is my story. Good evening. Thank you.
Wow, that was incredible.
Oh, thank you so much. I love the ephemeral quality of improvisation. Just throw it in the bin.
It's a magic.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I couldn't stop watching. And I was just, riveted, as I'm sure all of our viewers were.
Yes, well, I will be holding a virtual autograph session on Venmo after this.
Wow. How much is an autograph?
$5,000 per letter.
I've been saving for something like this.
Any suggestions on where to get a crystal? Yes, Kathy's Crystals in Columbia, Maryland.
Wow.
That's the only place I go. She doesn't do mail order. I actually have driven down in this time of quarantine. I know it is not recommended, but I did get healing crystals, and I've placed them. And I've grown a third lung.
There you go. That's too many lungs.
That's a lot. Wow.
Wow. Someone has a complaint about your address.
Yes,
there.
my good friend Jethro, owner of the hats, jackets, wallets, watches, and crystals. Yes, there are many things wrong with his products, I must say. Yes, as you can see there, made a purchase for his grandmother's 90th. There were many fires, and yes, unfortunately, methamphetamines. He has been known to slip those into some of his hats. His brother does have a sort of checkered past. He's not wrapped up in it himself, but times are tough and call for extreme measures.
Sure. Wow. Well, I am so glad you were on the show tonight.
Thank you so much.
I feel like
thank you for hosting such a wonderful evening.
It's been a pleasure. That does do it for us tonight, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in and for your suggestions and for interacting with us and for allowing us to take up a little bit of your time. Hopefully it was enjoyable, and hopefully if we do this again, you will tune in. Thank you. This is Improv Your Life, or that was Improv Your Life. What am I saying? Have a great night.